My name's Joseph Taylor, and I went to Greensboro Montessori School for about 12 or 13 years, and I graduated in 2011. I think with Montessori, they gave us the freedom to kind of just think outside the box, and there wasn't always a set way of doing things. So I went to Weaver Academy, which is a school for performing and visual arts. Montessori was hard compared to high school, which surprised me. By the time I was at Weaver, I had already made a resume, which some people had never even heard of before, because we were required to do that in Montessori in 7th grade, I think. I feel like Montessori put me in a position where I was better prepared than a lot of my peers at Weaver. One of my fondest memories was we had a telescope, and one of the other students knew how to work the telescope and find the planets, and that was the first time I got to see Saturn and Jupiter from a telescope. That was one of the points in my life where I think I can look back and say, like, that's where I fell in love with space. Last summer, I worked at NASA Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and I was working on their space crop production team as an intern for 10 weeks. And what we were doing is we were developing the crops that they'll fly on missions to the moon and Mars for the astronauts to eat. One of the problems that they have is they have no way of growing anything called root crops in space. Those are crops that grow underground, like carrots, radishes, or potatoes. And so that was a challenge that I felt like I could take on, and I sat in one of their lab spaces for an afternoon and just wrote down ideas until I had come up with some way of growing carrots in space. And so I drew up a design on the computer, and then I showed it to my boss, and she thought it was cool, and so she said, if you can find all the parts you need, we'll order it and we'll start building it. And so I did that, and by the time my internship ended, we had a prototype that we were planting carrots in. I do get credited with inventing it, and so I had to fill out a new technology report, and my name's on that. It's pretty cool. I never really thought that I would be able to say I invented something. Growing up, it kind of seems like everything that every idea you come up with has already been done before, and it wasn't until I got to college that I realized that that's not really the case. I think Montessori students grow up to be strong leaders and kind of the bringers of change. A lot of my friends are all doing amazing things in their own respective fields, and I don't think they would be where they are today without Montessori.